For our next story, join the conversation using the hashtag victims of Venom. And let's now bring in the feature that you have been waiting for. The World Health Organization declared it one of the most neglected tropical diseases of on the 9th of June 2017. And since then, Kenya has done little to nothing to curb the menace of a growing concern, which, according to the government data, has affected at least 4,000 people just in the last 5 years alone. But if this next report is anything to go by, then Kenya may be dragging its feet in dealing with a human-wildlife conflict that has been around for years. KTN's Timothy Otieno has transversed some of the deadliest counties in the country, tracing some of the most rare species of snakes, and brings you the victims of Venom. A story about the plight of the people mostly affected by snake bites, why the government is doing nothing to protect them, and how a team of scientists and traditional medicine men may be stepping in to combat these slithering serpents. We, however, would like to warn you that some of the images used in this special report may be quite disturbing.
They are among the deadliest of creatures.
Wakati niliuma ikaanza kuacha kutoka hapo basi nikaona kisungusungu ndio nikasilai.
Wreaking havoc and pain to the most vulnerable in Kenya.
All I want is for them to get her a prosthetic leg. That is all I want.
Yet the scientists are racing against time to save lives in a very costly affair.
Up to 1 billion Kenya shillings.
One anti-venom will cost about 4,000 Kenya shillings.
Can tradition step in where science has failed?
Hii si mawe, hii ni sumu ya nyoka hiyo.
I traverse Kenya's deadliest regions where serpents and humans clash for survival.
A snake, I believe. We really don't know what's happening, but let's just follow him, find out what's going on.
It's all about Kenya's unending quest to end the vice brought about by one of the world's most neglected tropical disease. Esther Kangali is about to arrive early to a special meeting of the area residents of Nguni village deep in the heart of Kitui County. The meeting is not compulsory, but the residents here need no motivation to attend this special sitting. It has taken Esther nearly an hour to get to her destination. Along the way, the biting sun has been unrelenting. But as soon as she arrives, those in attendance know the meeting is about to begin. Under the shade of the only tree within this small shopping center, the main agenda for today begins.
Kwanza ni kuwashukuru sana kwa kuja hii mkutano yetu. Kwa majina anaitwa Stanley.
Because of the high number of snakebite cases in this area,
pafada inapokuuma,
Stanley, who works for the Kenya Snakebite Research and Intervention Center, is here for a much-needed community sensitization exercise.
So leo nimekuja ili niwaelimishe aina nyoka zinapatikana huku kwenyu.
Here, fathers, mothers, and even grandmothers pay keen attention to the snakebite emergency response actions needed to save life and limb.
Kama umeumwa mguu, kama uko shambani, kama uko nyumbani, tafuta leso ama shati ama kipande cha nguo, uchukue tu miti tuwili, ufunge mguu.
And you don't need to tell them the importance of today's session. They know it. Just 1 year ago, one of them lost a limb due to a snake bite. Now, Esther, who survived the horrific ordeal, is among the biggest anti-snake bite campaigners in her community. When we visited her later at the homestead she now shares with her mother, She recalled the day her life changed forever.
I had gone to the farm. The snake was hiding underneath the gunny bag I was using to harvest green grams. When I picked up the bag, the snake bit me and I fell down.
Because she was all alone at the farm, it would take nearly 30 minutes before Esther's mother got word of her daughter's predicament.
When we got to her, we found blood dripping on her entire right leg. The big snake that had bitten her was still there.
At the time, they did not know, but Esther had been bitten by a puff adder, a snake in the family of the viper species and one very common in Kitui County.
In Kamba here, they call it the kimbuva. This is the snake that they are really scared of. Now we are trying to educate them more on why not to be afraid of these snakes and what to do and what not to do when they come across these snakes.
Part of the training involves mentoring community health volunteers like Peter Musioka. He's the only trained motorcycle ambulance operator in the entire area and was the man who took up the challenge to take Esther to hospital when she was bitten by a snake in December 2019.
Kuna simu mimi nimepeana huko katika community, namba yangu. Ninapikiwa kutoka sehemu zote za area zote za Nguni. Nikipikiwa hata kama ni usiku, naamuka na kicha pikipiki na kimbia kwenye mahali kuna huyo mtu mgonjwa. Nikipika na mchukua na mleta hospitali.
He quickly rushed Esther to the nearby Nguni Health Center, but the facility does not have anti-venom. So he had to carry her on his motorcycle ambulance a distance of 33 kilometers to the Mwingi District Hospital. Because of the tough terrain, it's a journey that lasted longer than it should have.
Kwa pikipiki, ukiwa umepepa, huwezi kimbia sana, unakimbia kiasi. Unaweza pepa saa moja. Ndio. Saa moja. Sababu ni pikipiki.
Many people end up being adversely affected by snake bites, often because health facilities are far away and ill-equipped to handle the tropical disease. A majority of snakebite cases in Kenya occur in rural areas where access to quality anti-venom remains hard.
Treating people with snake bites usually predominantly relies on the infusion of an antidote to the snake venom. Now, according to Doctors Without Borders, just 2% of snakebite victims in sub-Saharan Africa get access to quality antivenoms. This is usually necessitated by the fact that snakebite victims take a long time from the site where they've been bitten towards getting health facilities that can be able to treat their snake bites. In areas like Nguni, Kitui County, that distance is usually quite staggering.
It's the reason why Esther's life was spared, but not her limb. After 2 months in hospital, her leg had to be amputated.
I was fearful, but the doctors convinced me to agree.
I accepted it as the will of God.
The type of snake that bit Esther is among a group of species considered the deadliest in Kenya. Even though scientists say 80% of snakes are not venomous, they warn against coming across the following snakes in Kenya: the puff adder, the black mamba, the green mamba.
And it has a slender long head, which is coffin-like shaped, with a small round eye, and a smiling face, but deadly.
The Gabon viper, boomslang snake, the forest cobra, the mountain viper, rhinoceros viper, brown spitting cobra, the red spitting cobra, and the twig snake, which, by the way, has no antivenom to date.
Why is there no antivenom for them?
So that is why we are here. The guys who have been doing anti-venom haven't included this one. They fall into same categories like boomslang, yeah, the venom. But at the moment, we don't use boomslang anti-venom to treat this, yeah. So they are highly venomous, but they take time before they bite.
These are the type of snakes you do not want to come across. The deadliest among them is the black mamba, which accounts for the quickest death by a snake bite in the world. Its bite kills within 45 minutes, and that is if you're lucky. Often, its venom kills much faster. In Kenya, black mambas are widespread, but they are commonly found in Baringo County, where they have claimed the lives of countless residents. And so, we took a trip to arguably Kenya's deadliest county when it comes to snake inhabitants. The beauty of Kerio Valley is characterized by the lush green vegetation spread across acres of land. However, a closer look at the greenery reveals the danger that lurks below. Experts attribute the increased number of snakes in the area to global warming, which has enabled the reptiles to come out of their hiding in search of water.
The cobras during the hot season, this place is a hot place. So the cobras, the mambas, because of the nature of the place, it's a hot place, the hilly keeps them a place to camouflage, becomes home for them.
With nearly 100 snakebite cases in Marigat town just this year alone, the epicenter for this troubling tropical disease is where we find a man soldiering in a battle not many would be willing to forge. 73-year-old Walter Keegan has been a traditional snake handler in the area for decades. When we meet him, he tells us he had just caught a dangerous black mamba on his own just 3 days earlier. Every snake Mzee Keegan catches is like a trophy to him. As I'm about to sit down with the man feared and revered in equal measure by the residents here, he insists that the interview will only begin if his snake is near him. With the snake still trapped in his bag and clearly agitated, I reluctantly agree to this very uncomfortable situation.
Nilikuwa nashikanga nyoka kwa wiki mbili 40. Nilianza kama hata sijaoa pipi mpaka saa hii watoto ni wengi.
But what's about to happen next is no laughing matter.
Okay.
Our interview is soon interrupted. This woman needs the help of Walter Keegan because she says she has spotted a snake inside her house.
Okay. Okay, so it appears Mzee Walter Keegan has just been called for a snake bite. A snake, I believe. We really don't know what's happening, but let's just follow him, find out what's going on. Let's just follow him.
Snake sightings in Kaptara village, Baringo County are very common. And Keegan, who began capturing snakes in 1968, is always on call to help capture the slithering serpents whenever the need arises. It's an earnest search for a wild animal that has caused pain and suffering to many here. The snake being sought after is a house snake like this one. They are scary but are not considered venomous. Keegan doesn't fear snakes, but that doesn't mean he's been immune to their vicious bite. He has been bitten once in the past, but has since been very cautious in handling the more deadly species.
Haina sumu? Wild fruit. Haina sumu. Yeah, mimi napepa ile chuma nyeupe mfuko na hii kamba yangu napanga, alafu nakwenda kata miti nafungia hii basi, alafu mimi nateka na shingo. Baada ya kushika na ile nateka na shingo yake, au nikipata kama yanatulia polepole tu, kwa sababu yeye si mchokozi, mimi naweza kunyemelea polepole mpaka niingize kamba kwa shingo. Kama inalala inatoa chini, ndio mimi nikashika.
But the work done by traditional snake handlers like Keegan can only go so far. Many snakebite victims barely make it to the hospital before either dying or having their limbs amputated. The 73-year-old, however, believes that with better understanding about the wild animals, more lives can be saved.
Kenya ako na members 3. Huko Western Province ako na Champions member. Hakuna hapa. Alafu hapa Kerio Valley au hii area yetu ya Rift Valley yote iko black members kwa wingi. Hii sehemu za Kerio yote mpaka mwisho black members kwa wingi. Alafu Coast Province tuko na green members. Huko ni green members nyingi.
But studying serpents is one thing. Treating snake bites is another. When we come back, Kenya's expensive quest to treat the world's most neglected tropical disease.
One antivenom will cost about 4,000 Kenya shillings.
And how the clash between science...
This can kill so many people. It can go even to about 10.
And tradition... could help in coming up with East Africa's first locally produced snake antivenom.